starts today.
We must march. We must stand up.
You march those people into rural Alabama, it's got to be open season.
May I have a word?
There's no word to be had.
The people. The people. The people. The people.
Wow. Just incredible film, first of all. You know, it took place 50 years ago, but there were so many parallels that we see today in the film. So talk a little bit about that and the timing of its release.
You know, I mean, we've all just gone through Ferguson. So Selma is not a story about something that happened in history anymore. Selma is a story about events that are happening on a continuum. You know, in our film, a young brother named Jimmy Lee Jackson gets shot by the police. You know, we know that every 6 months we're having, well, almost every week in America, a brother's being shot by the police with something that just ain't right. And we've had these high-profile cases, whether it's Oscar Grant or Trayvon Martin or Mike Brown. Continues on and on. We can name 5 other brothers in the last year. And so it just feels very now, which is always the thing with historical dramas that I kind of yawn at. It's like, okay, we got to go to the past. But I think the thing about Selma is that it's really just showing you that the events that we're going through have been happening and happening until we understand why they're never going to be deconstructed and fixed.
Absolutely. You know, David, I mean, you played a phenomenal role with playing Martin Luther King. What were some of the most challenging aspects for you to kind of just become that character and become such a prolific man in history?
Well, I always approached it that my job is to show the man behind the iconography. Yeah. And if you're going to do that, then what is it about him that makes him him, in spite of everything everyone else thinks of him? And the thing that was toughest was the weight of guilt, the weight of responsibility upon him. And when you're doing that day in, day out, I have to say, it got to me. You know, it was challenging to feel the pressure of expectation. This man straddled family, the movement, the White House, being a celebrity, being an international figure, whilst living in fairly meager means. You know, he made this conscious choice of, I'm not gonna, you know, use the money that's being donated to SCLC to better my own life. You know, they lived very frugally. And, you know, it weighs upon you. I have 4 kids myself, so I know what it feels like to be a father and yet have these other pressures. And so the thing I really felt we needed to see was how that weighs upon a human being. Yeah. Not a saint, not someone who's been deified, but that pressure. What does that mean?
Yeah, I like that you mentioned the fact that he was a human, because there's so much of, you know, in history, in our history books, we see and read about Martin Luther King, but we don't necessarily see the humanity and the human side of him. So that was really special to see. For you, choosing this story and choosing David as to play MLK, what was kind of going through your mind? There's so many aspects to the civil rights movement that you could have chose to tell, but you chose Selma and you chose David. Why?
It is a combination of celebrity in our community and real people. And that's really what we were trying to do with this film, truly. We know the celebrity aspect of King. I Have a Dream and the statue and the assassination and all of these kind of big pieces, but what we really don't know is the pieces in the middle. Just a brother taking out the trash for his wife in the scene, or smoking on the porch, you know, the things that black men from the South do, right? At that time and now. And so you needed someone that was able to do both, the high and low. The big speeches in the church, you know, real black Southern church, which he kills. Yes. And the intimate moments with his wife and with his friends.
How did you, I don't mean to cut you off, we're running short on time, but I want to know from a director's standpoint, like, I follow you on Twitter, and you had so many pictures where you, like, showed us where you laid out all the scenes, and, you know, this is such a work, you know, a baby for you. So how do you go about choosing the scenes that you want to show, you know, with MLK, and how do you kind of, like, you just picture locked like a week ago?
Yeah, you know? Well, you just have a real clear sense of the story that we want to tell, and we didn't just want to tell the story that most people know. We wanted to really do our research and go deep and really show him as a man. And once we figured that out, we were able to follow it pretty quickly.
Well, it was a great story. Really, really excited to see the film. I wish you guys the best, and I can't wait to see much more of what you're doing. You're killing the game. We're so proud of you from a community standpoint.
He's in 9 movies. Every movie you see, this Interstellar, Most Violent Year, he's in every movie. He's in every movie this year. You'll see he pops up like a selfie, like a.
I'm actually one of triplets. It's
3 of them moving
my
around.
Brothers.
Well, bravo. Seriously,
Say thanks
bravo.
to Munson.
I will. Thank you again. Thank you.